Now, our Mommy Monday segment. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, the holiday season is full of fun activities and family time, but it can also be a struggle for anyone who needs more of a routine, say people with ADHD.
All right, Dr. Anna Burns, an executive functioning coach, is here to help us get through the parties and presents without getting overwhelmed. Thank you so much for being with us again. Welcome back. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. I guess the big question is we're approaching the holidays and, you know, we have to clean the house and organize. We're trying to declutter the piles that are just mounting from counter to tabletop, you know. What is like the first step you think that we should tackle?
I think so. Everything that needs to get done, instead of keeping it all up here, write it all down and start to plan it out. Because I think the more organized you can be going into the holidays, the better you're going to be. Because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon to get all the way through. And so, you know, breaking things down step by step, getting it all out there will really, really help at least get organized or start to get there.
You know, it can be an overwhelming, daunting task for not only people with ADHD, but for anybody out there. Do you have any tools, any advice you can recommend to help us get through it?
Yeah, I really encourage what we call batch decision making. So make a whole bunch of decisions all at once, something like meal plan for the entire month at once.
Wow.
Or write down your gift list before you start to scroll an online shop or go to the mall. So that way you're actually not having to make all those decisions on the fly every day, all day. If you can get a bulk of that done at once, it really frees your brain up to be able to take in and enjoy other things.
All right. Sometimes those with ADHD, I know lists are definitely a thing, but to the point where you're making so many lists that you're really not tackling what's on them. There's a lot of procrastination involved. So how do you recommend getting over that so we can actually start crossing out some of the things on the list?
Sure. I think trying to break down those things into even tiny, smaller pieces can help get a little bit of momentum. So we start getting those wins and start feeling successful. And once we feel that, now we're motivated to keep going. I think also using timers, using alarms, giving ourselves just finite amounts of time to get something done can be super duper helpful. I think also looking at your schedule and blocking time out to do those specific things will help you know that, okay, there's time in the schedule for me to look at all the Christmas cards, for me to plan the Thanksgiving meal, for me to go shopping. So that way you're not worried about it, you're not thinking about it, you just got to start doing it.
Yeah, that's what I do is I save all the Christmas cards until Christmas Day. And then I sit down, take a couple of hours, I open up all the cards so I know I'm looking forward to something and it's not a daunting task each and every day to get them done.
All right.
That's great. I like that.
The other thing is the sensory overload that comes with the holidays, and especially for moms, maybe if you have young kids and, you know, the kids are just pulling at you and you're just, or the kids are screaming or they're fighting in the other room and you have this list that you're trying to tackle, but you keep getting disrupted and then it, you know, kind of like short circuits your brain a little bit. You don't know where you left off. How do we navigate something like that? Because the holidays are just stressful in general, but I feel like everyone's operating like on their threshold of what they can handle when it comes to this time of year.
Exactly. And I think with ADHD, we have a hard time really figuring out what to filter in and what to filter out. So we're hearing all the holiday music. We're hearing the kids fighting. We're hearing the car outside. So really finding a quiet space or a quiet time to get things done. Maybe trying to get a whole bunch of stuff done while the kids are home and home from school may not be the best time to tackle those things that are really, really demanding of our attention. Maybe those are the times that you do those kind of low lift tasks where you don't have to have as much attention. So really looking at your time, and that can be helpful to get things done. I think also headphones are great.
Headphones.
Even if you're walking around your house with the big headphones or shopping at the mall with the big headphones, like that can be really helpful because it lets you think without having all of that auditory input to kind of get your attention away.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
That makes so much sense.
Is it okay to not get everything done?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I think we have this sense of like, we want to have like the perfect holidays and make it just absolutely perfect. And so we spend so much time trying to do that we miss out on what really energizes us, what really fills our cup for the holidays. And so I think trying to look at your why, like, why are you doing these things around the holidays? Is it because you enjoy it? Is it because it's making you happy, or is it an obligation?
Yeah.
And so if you're, get rid of the obligations, get rid of that. You don't have time, you don't have bandwidth for it. Really focus on the things that energize you and don't really drain you.
Is that why they say joy to the world? Because it brings everyone else joy, but not always ourselves? Right. I love that, though. And you also say choosing the holiday activities that are most energizing and least draining. I love that. Upping self-care around this time, so important. I think this is probably the time of year where self-care really drops through. And then, that's where you have the push in January 1st. New year, come to the gym, and simplifying traditions. Very important stuff. Thank you so much, Dr. Burns, for coming back on Mommy Monday here on Great Day at 9 a.m. And can you remind us where we can find you and your information?
Sure. So my website is annaburnswellness.com, and you can find me on socials at Anna Burns Wellness.
Terrific. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Yes.
Thanks. You as well.
And Dr. Burns is going to be making another appearance on the podcast Mommyhood Unscripted, so look for that episode. That's coming out soon, right before the holidays really ramp up. And also there's a new podcast episode that just dropped, and it's with Lori Sugarman Lee, and it's all about how to effectively assign chores to our children.
Oh, good.
And how it's really, really, really so helpful.
Send your kids to my house. I have chores for them to do.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, how you can create new holiday traditions.